Welcome to another GCBASIC demonstration. This demonstration, I'm just going to take you through the what I'm calling Super IDE for the time being. Okay, probably get another name later on, but it's a new integrated development environment, and I'm going to try and explain the context that has led to that and just give a quick demonstration. So rather than have a load of slides, I'm just going to take you over to the GCBASIC website. Here it is. Here is the GCBASIC website. We don't need to look at much at the top end, but let's have a look at the IDEs that currently exist. Okay, quite clearly, we have two. There are probably more out there. Some people must use other IDEs. They might use Notepad, they might use Genie, but the one that comes in the box, the two that come in the box, hence it's called All Things Come in Twos, like Jekyll and Hyde. It has two personalities. It has an IDE on the right here, which is based upon SuperIDE, and it was an editor, and we hacked it. I hacked it personally inside of a hexadecimal editor to kill some of the functionality that kept breaking things. And a gentleman called Frank, he put a little UI on it so that you could compile things. But the truth is that this is not supported. It's been out of support for many, many years. It's not cross-platform. It has many issues around locking up solid. It just locks up. You can't do many of the editorial functions because I disabled them because it just corrupts the files. Yes, it's stable, but it's not supported. And to be quite frank, we've given this no investment for the last 3 years, zero investment, meaning that it is falling further and further behind the preferred IDE, which is based upon VC code, which is our version. We've taken that source code, we've put a lot of effort into the GC code and GC Studio, and it comes in that flavor. So you can choose when you install which one you want. But to be quite frank, we called the old one legacy because it's not supported, and there was many functions that are inside of GC code you don't get inside of the legacy IDE. For instance, you get 4 icons and that is it. You have to hunt around the system and you're not going to be presented all the new things that have been developed. It just doesn't work because we are not going to spend any more time in a physically unsupported application. Well, about a month ago, someone sent me something and I thought, oh, that's clever. And we've developed that a bit further and we developed something called Super IDE. Super IDE, where it fits is it's a replacement for SuperIDE. Absolutely, it's a replacement for SuperIDE. However, it can be white labeled, it can be changed. What does that mean? That means that someone can take this and they can put their own label on it so it doesn't look like GCBASIC. It's still got the compiler there, but it could be labeled. And I think that's going to happen in this summer, and you'll see that come along. But I'm sharing this early to show you what the capabilities of this new Super IDE is. So from a in your mind's eyes, you've installed GCBASIC and you want to run it off a USB stick. Well, that is a nightmare at the moment. However, in this new world, you'll be able to do that because we've broken this reliance on SuperIDE. SuperIDE is reliant upon location, and physical locations, and there's no separation between local files and user files. It just didn't exist when the guy wrote it. Okay, we've had to resolve all those things. So in this scenario, I'm just going to fire up Super IDE. You could do this through GC Studio. So if I go into the GC Studio, you could come at it through here. You could come into GC Studio like this, and you could select a new project, and you could create files in there, and it would just work. This new IDE will just work. It can replace SuperIDE like that. But you don't need to have the whole VS. You don't have to have the whole of the VS Code installation to make this work. We can give a very smaller installation because we don't need to install VC code. So people might decide, okay, I'm going to go for this new Super IDE and not have VC code entirely. It's a choice that we could make as a team. So let's have a look. Let me just see what is set up on mine at the moment. So currently, I open it up and it goes directly into VC code. That's VC code as it is, and you can tell it's VC code, Control B, Control J, and it shows you all the things that are installed with VS code. All right, it's great. If I come out, I'm just going to do that again. I just want to see what happens. I don't know how I've installed what I've got installed at the moment, to be quite frank. I'm just going to start it up because I could launch it from the beginning to the end. And here we go. It's a single executable, and it installs absolutely everything it needs in that go. It's running. It's already run, and I'm just going to take you through a couple of things. We've got a terminal window. Clearly, in actual fact, what I should do, I should delete my. I'm going to delete my current settings so that you get the full experience. Okay, I've just deleted my setup. There you go. It's one file. It's actually opened it up, and here we go. It's opened it up. I'll go full screen. There we go, full screen. Oh, the first thing I need to do is change some font size so you can see it. Okay, so edit the appearance, UI font size. Let's just change that to 14. I've just changed the UI, and it's basically a really simple IDE. So I started it up afresh. All I've done is change the fonts because just so you can see the video. Okay. All right. So I've got a taskbar, which I shall just move out of the way. Change the size of that. I've got file, edit, IDE settings and help. And look, it opened up the standard files that we get in GCBASIC. These are the standard 2 files that it opens. They may be changed. I don't know. Depends where we end up. But it says in here, useful set of tools for the IDE, and you've got a load of function keys, F1, F2, F3, F4. You don't have any of those in SuperIDE. You've got all those in VS code, in the GC code. You've now got all those same buttons inside of this new IDE because I put them there. It's the same, okay? So if I want to compile something, it already loaded a sample file for me. Color coding, all that sort of stuff's there. And it said in this previous page, if I press function key F6, it will create a hex file. So let me just go into a sample file and press function key F6. And down the bottom, it's executed the process and it's compiled my first program. It's done it. What you can't do in SuperIDE is things like this. You can't move this. You can't do anything like this. So I've moved that, and I'm just gonna. I can actually unhook it. I can have it where I like on the screen. I can have you can't, and this you can't do inside of VS Code. I'm going to put my 2 icons here. So if I want to make a hex, I just push the green button, and it makes a hex. I can press function key F4. I can press lots of different things. They all work because this is a new editor. So an IDE. So if I take my first sample file over here and I go File, Save As, and I'm going to do a Save As, a C:\temp, my first, and I have my first GCB dot. All I'm going to do is put that in there. I've saved a file. Now watch this. I'm going to restart GC Studio. And it says here, top left, I'll zoom in for you. It's just done it. That's fine. And so I've got all the standard things that I need to develop a solution in GCBASIC. I got things. So here is all access to the tools. And this is pretty vague to find inside of GC in SynWrite, the old editor, because there is no button F4. There is no way I could give you a list like this. It was impossible. I ran out of options because it only let me have 4 things. So I used the 4 up. It didn't show you image converter, calculators, debug modes. It didn't show you any of that because I couldn't show it to you. And many people avoid VC Code because it's overly complicated. This could be the solution. As you saw earlier on, I can change the appearance in terms of the UI because this is intended to be user-friendly. It's just got a couple of commands to change the menus and the size of the editor that you're actually working on. You can change the screen position, dead easy. Editor, you've got indent size, show line numbers, word wrap on and off, save confirmations, check files for external modifications. So if I open up the file, let me open up the assembler file that's been created. I'll go IDE task, open the assembly file. Now what's going to happen when I reassemble this, the subtitle will change, the time will change. Okay, quite useful. Function key F6 I've pressed, didn't take an icon or drop down, and it says it's been modified. This is quite normal. Doesn't work in SynWrite. Inside of here is extensive logging, error logging, and you've got a control terminal. And the control terminal, unlike SynWrite, doesn't lock up. So if there is an issue, you have full control of what's going down, same as you have in VC Code. You can change the terminal size and you can reset things. So let me try and explain what reset is. If you want to reset the terminal position, you just push it. If it goes off the window, it goes crazy. If you want to reset the button bar, you just reset the position. If you want to change the button bar icon size, this is impossible inside of VC Code. It's impossible inside of any of the other editors. But if you want to have big icons, just choose big icons. You can change the physical icons yourself. You can just go in and change them. They just work. Okay. Let me just open up a bigger file. Must have one in my past list here. Oh, let's have a look at a real use case, shall we? Here's a GLCD program. Let's just bring up a project. I'm going to bring up a simulator, and I'm going to move the simulator to the top right-hand corner of the screen here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back the editor so I'm just going to fiddle things around here on the screen. Put that there. Put my terminal window there. Put my very large, oh yeah, that doesn't let me do that. Oh well, I've done that wrong, haven't I? Because I can do this lot. So I did it. I think that works. I can put it over there now. Look. Oh yeah, I can. Look. So that's not a very good place for it, is it really? What I really need is that IDE, not IDE, that what do you call it, emulator to be like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to compile this program, function key F6, going to compile it. Oh, I should have pushed the button here, to be quite frank. Right, it's just compiled it, took 4 seconds. I'm going to load that into this little project. I'm going to load the project into this emulator. And you're going to say, don't believe you. Oh, I better just change that. V1, V2, there we go. I'm going to push the hex key here. I just push the button there. Now I'm going to reload the project. This is a project inside of that IDE, okay, of that simulator. And what it does, the hex file, I've just recompiled it, and I can prove that to you because look, that says version 1 at the bottom here. So what I've got is a very nice tool, right? Then I can sort of change that to version 11, and that one's a version 22. Make the hex. I don't have that mess of the interface I used to have, and I like this. So I'm using it. Okay. So if I go into GLC, reload the hex, we'll see that that's changed. I've got version 11 now. Hey, let's not be moaning about a very small GLCD. It's fast, okay? All right. It's quite useful. You've got all the highlighting stuff, all that sort of works. What else you got in the help? About that you can report an issue. This has got integrated into GitHub. You can just go to the issues there. You can, if you want to go see the latest release, just click on it, and here it is. Here's the build. You can just download it. It's one file. Not like VS Code. It's not like SynWrite. SynWrite was a nightmare. It was full of stuff. Okay, you need batch files and all manner of stuff. This is all because the infrastructure I've lifted from GC Code. And we'll have a look at that in a minute. So if you want to read the change log, just come out here. If you want to, is there a README? Let me just see. Let me go back into the help. I bet there's a README. No, latest release, look, report an issue. Latest release is what I just saw. Let me have a look back in here. Here is the change log, what's happening, so you can see what's going down. It's fine. In the help also, you can manage a language file, and that's the highlighting, and then you can see all your tasks. And the task is that task menu. If you want to add one in, you literally just come into here and you learn how to do it. It's not hard. You just copy what's there. So in here, I'll just add one in. Look. F7. Where's pick kit 2? Look. Pick kit 2. Get the type in right. There's a label there, look, called pick kit 2. So I'm just going to take a copy of this is called a JSON file. And a JSON file has a particular format. And that format I haven't invented. It's just a format. Have I got all the commas in the right place? Yeah, that's right. So here I'm going to change that to pick kit 3. I'm going to change that to a 3. I'm going to save it. And in the task, currently it says pick kit 2. All right, let's just exit out. Before we go any further, we should look that he's actually put the windows back exactly where it was previously. Exactly where I left them. There is no jiggling around anymore. Okay. Let's look at my tasks. Oh, I have a pick kit 3. All right. Pick kit 3. I press the button. Hey, presto, it works. Now, all those applications, by the way, all those applications are installed in the base installation of GCBASIC. So it's extremely simple. You just configure something and it just pops up. So if you wanted to have a serial terminal, the same button press as GC code, SynWrite. Does SynWrite support serial? Was it a nightmare to get to it? I can't remember. I bet it's, oh, this is opened up in the background because I asked it to open up. So many things are in there. Now, this isn't going to be perfect first go. All right, there's going to be little issues. We have to go find them, go fix them. This is open source. VS Code is open source. SynWrite, we cannot change the capabilities, functionality, or anything. This is not possible. We don't have the source code. We have the source code for this. You have the source code. It's up on GitHub. You can change it yourself at home. You can literally go, I don't like that, and just change it. You can create a clone of it and just change it. I don't care. Because if you want to integrate it into the basic GCB environment, it's pretty simple. So what we have is a new ID. Recent files. GCB, that's the one I had open. Look, GCB dot. It's called GLCD. GLCD. GCB. What else can you do in here? It does things that it should do. It's essentially a simple IDE that gets the job done. And it's what we need. If you want to, some of this was never available, isn't available on SuperIDE. You can clean a solution. So what that just did, it just went through, and you can see, it's just deleted all the rubbish files that are created when you're doing a development. It just tidies up. You can tidy. That is available and always was available in VC Code, not available in SuperIDE. So there's this. It's like a Venn diagram. Oh, it's a Venn diagram. Very good. Let's draw a Venn diagram. That's what we should do. It's like a Venn diagram. It is a Venn diagram. It's like this. There's a sweet spot. There's one of these, one of those, and one of those. There's three. This one is SuperIDE. This one, VS Code. It's not VS Code, it's GC Code. This one, I've just given it a name because I didn't call it SuperIDE. The guy that gave it to me, SuperIDE. Now, do they overlap like that? I don't think so. They don't overlap like that. They overlap like this. No. They certainly share the same compiler in the center. Okay. I'm going to put that one as red because it's not supported. Okay. GC Code uses the same compiler. And SuperIDE, I'm going to have to turn it like this, is the smartest of them all. And I have to Control R on there. Because it shares a lot of the same infrastructure. I'm going to have to sort of change the size of this. Well, it's a lot smaller, so I'm allowed to change the size of it. Okay. It's like that. That's how it is. In the center here, in the center spot here, we've got the common thing, and the common thing that's in the middle, quite clearly, is the tool chain. And the tool chain does not include the IDE. It's just the compiler and all the tools that come with it. And that fits right in there, right in the middle. Okay. Let me try and get that. There we go. Space tool chain. And that is a sort of a blue color. There we go. Because SuperIDE shares GC code, absolutely shares the same code, the same instructions, the same setup, the same structure in terms of the JSON files that do all the configuration. They're shared, and I showed you that. When you save a file in SuperIDE, it appears in GC Studio, so you could go between the two quite easily. In actual fact, we'll do that. I'm going to shut this down. What I'm going to do is I am going to take this and I'm going to put that in my C drive. I'm going to go into GC Studio. I'm going to commit suicide, I guess. I'm going to create a folder in here called, no, I'm not. I'm just going to go into here and take the SuperIDE. Take the SuperIDE. Here's SuperIDE here. I'm just going to put this executable in there just for a placeholder. And I'm going to rename that as Sin. I've renamed it. Okay, let me go back into, let me start up GC Studio. Spanner, I'm going to change it over to SuperIDE because I just renamed it as SuperIDE. Okay. Now if I come into here and I go, oh, my last file was glcd.gcb, I just click on it. it's put me back over there. I'm back where I was. I'm back in this new IDE. The beauty of this is that I can revert back into GC code in an instant. It's just one switch. It's quite simple. So if I come into here and I say, right, file new, it gives me an example file up, save as, c:\temp, integration test, save. And I would press function key F4 to come out. Now I start GC code, GC Studio. Integration test, top of the list, job done. So I can come in and out. And why do we need GC code? Because it manages the environment. It's fantastic for that. It's the best IDE, to be quite frank, that I've ever used. However, it doesn't meet everyone's requirements. It might be too heavy for some people. We have another option. It has a name. It's not a great name. Okay, it just needs a name. It needs debugging. It needs fixing. I mean, there are going to be issues in this. Okay, I don't know, but they're all sortable because we got the source code. The gentleman that sent it to me has said, "Here's an idea." Then he left me to it, which is fantastic, huh? But I wanted to introduce concept, Super IDE introduction. I think I've done that. Enjoy.